making Patsy squeal at the sudden crush. "Oh, sorry there, Patsy Canine," Tasha said, giving the dog a chin scratch. Max had known Tasha since they were kids, and she was one of his closest friends. Though she had started out singing in her church choir, Tasha Monroe had fallen in love with country music, and the world had fallen in love with her. With multiple platinum albums under her rhinestone belt, and at only 32, she was the artist that most up-and-coming musicians wished to emulate. A superstar now, Tasha was better at deflecting the negative aspects of celebrity than Max was. She never apologized for her ambition and knew precisely who she was. Now she gave Max a once-over. "Damn, how are you always so freaking effortless?" Max not only had the musical pedigree, he had also inherited his father's impossibly good looks. Dark hair that settled back into perfect waves when he ran a hand through it, a 5 o'clock shadow that worked so well on him you'd wonder why he'd ever shave, cheekbones for days, and long eyelashes that framed deep brown eyes. "You're one to talk," Max replied, to which Tasha waved a hand, dismissing the compliment. "Smoke and mirrors, you know show business." Tasha took a muffin from the craft services table and then grimaced at its obvious staleness. "That's what you get for agreeing to be a judge on a B-level show," Max said, looking pointedly at the sad muffin. Starmaker had once been the hottest ticket in Nashville, garnering millions of viewers. Tasha Monroe had been discovered in the first season, chosen by the great country music producer Cruz McNeil, who was one of the show's creators, and was now back as a guest judge. But recent seasons were lagging. Perhaps the show's predictable format was tiresome to viewers, especially in a sea of reality show options. But there had been much talk and anticipation that this year was going to get it back on top of the Nielsen ratings. And from the producer's perspective, Max Brody was a big part of the strategy. "Now come on," Tasha replied. "Didn't you hear we have the Max Brody joining this season?" They both laughed, and Tasha broke off a piece of the stale muffin for Patsy. "Tosh!" Max twisted away, but not before Patsy got the treat. "You know she can't have gluten." Tasha rolled her eyes, her fake eyelashes so long they hit above her eyebrows. "Max, you know she can. Look how happy she is, aren't you, girl, aren't you?" Tasha cooed, giving her another small bit of muffin, despite Max's annoyed glare. "Nice sweater, by the way." "Oh, thanks." Max ran his hand over Patsy's sweater and felt a wave of pride. On the stage in front of them, a dozen or so of the other contestants were warming up. Max had no clue who the contestants were or what their stories were, because he hadn't met any of them yet. He hadn't bothered to. It was probably time to pay closer attention because these contestants were his competition. But the white noise of the mingling voices made it tough for anyone to rise above the rest. Until one did. The voice that reached him belonged to a woman at the edge of the stage closest to where Max and Tasha stood. It wasn't just that she was closest to Max. It was that her voice had that rare quality to it you didn't often hear, even in Nashville. Tasha heard it too, and nodded at the woman, whose long dark hair was in a braid over her shoulder, a baggy sweatshirt worn over plain black tights. "That's Sadie Hunter," Tasha said. "Sort of a Brandy Carlisle thing going on, right?" Max frowned, watching Sadie Hunter pace in a slow circle near the edge of the stage. Then she turned toward them, and Max got a complete picture. She wasn't just talented, she was gorgeous too. A gentle pink hue to her cheeks, and those eyes, blue as a bluebird. Tasha nudged Max's shoulder with her own. "Pretty as a peach?" "In that vanilla pop star sort of way, I guess." Max shrugged. "Bit sweet for me." Tasha replied, giving him a wry smile. "I don't know. She sort of seems just your type." "Hush up." Max raised his eyebrow at his friend. Just then, Cruz McNeil sidled up to them, a young guy with movie star hair and a huge smile following a step behind him. "Tasha, love, I want you to meet someone," Cruz said, completely ignoring Max. His silver hair...